Hi guys, Sci-Fi Recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain a 2022 American science fiction and drama movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. The movie begins with a Chinese-American middle-aged woman, Evelyn Wang, who is going through a busy morning. She checks receipts from her laundromat business because its tax report is being audited by the IRS and she has an appointment with the auditor this afternoon. Her husband, Waymond, wants to talk about divorce but she seems too busy to pay attention to him, so he ends up doing house chores instead. Their daughter, Joy, comes to the house with her girlfriend Becky. Evelyn plans to bring her father, Gong Gong, to the auditor appointment this afternoon while Joy and Becky can stay at home and decorate for Gong Gong's party later tonight. Before Evelyn can sit down, customers come to the laundromat, so she heads there to serve them. Overwhelmed with tasks, she asks Waymond to help while Joy tries to talk to her to bring Becky to Gong Gong's party tonight and introduce her to him, but Evelyn tells her to let Gong Gong enjoy his party. While Waymond prepares Gong Gong's breakfast, Evelyn introduces Becky to him as Joy's good friend instead of girlfriend. Joy is devastated by that choice of words and storms off the laundromat. Evelyn, Waymond, and Gong Gong attend the auditor appointment at the IRS office. As the elevator goes up, Waymond suddenly acts strange by blocking the CCTV and telling Evelyn that she is in grave danger. He gives Evelyn an earpiece and activates it, making Evelyn relive her life from childhood until now. He gives her a choice, to head for the janitor's room or to still attend the appointment with Deirdre, their auditor. Confused, she asks him why she would go to the janitor's room, but he refuses to explain. He writes down some absurd instructions on paper instead and tells her to follow those while she is attending her appointment. The auditor seems to be unhappy with the audit and asks many questions, but Waymond manages to find answers while Evelyn keeps thinking about his strange behavior. She checks the instruction, which tells her to switch her shoes to the wrong feet and imagine herself being in the janitor's closet. The action splits her consciousness, one in the auditor's appointment, and another in the janitor's closet where she meets another version of Waymond from a different universe. However, Waymond only tells her that she will know when it is the time to fight, then he is being chased by another evil version of Deirdre, causing Evelyn to panic and confusing everyone in her main universe. Waymond suspects that Evelyn panics because she has read the statement of divorce he is going to issue, so he explains it to her, which just makes Evelyn even more confused. She then sees Deirdre coming at them, perceives it to be a threat Waymond told her earlier and punches Deirdre. Everyone at the office is shocked and reports the incident to the police. The other Waymond appears again, this time using his martial arts skills to save themselves. Meanwhile, in another universe where Evelyn and Waymond did not survive the attack at the janitor's closet, Evelyn is killed off by a mysterious cult leader whom the evil Deirdre worships, Jobu Tupaki. Jobu is disappointed knowing that Evelyn is not the one she is looking for, and switches her consciousness to other versions of herself throughout the multiverse, ending up possessing Joy's. Back in the IRS office, the Waymond from another universe explains to Evelyn that every slight variation in reality creates a branching universe. He comes from the first universe to make contact with others, the Alphaverse. In that universe, Evelyn, now deceased, was a brilliant woman who discovered a way to temporarily link a person's consciousness to other versions of themselves, accessing their memories, emotions, and skills, a method called verse jumping. She was killed by Jobu Tupaki, an ambitious being with no real motives who is building a sort of black hole. He thinks this universe's Evelyn can stop Jobu, thus risking everything to save her. They encounter the evil Deirdre again, who performs verse jumping to gain the abilities of a pro wrestler and attacks them. Alpha Waymond tries to verse jump but Deirdre knocks his device and traps him in a room, leaving Evelyn defenseless. Through a phone call, Alpha Waymond tells Evelyn she must verse jump, imagining herself in a universe where she knows martial arts. After that, she must perform a weird task to deliver her consciousness to that universe, this time telling Deirdre that she loves her. She attempts to do it but is sent to another universe where she finished Deirdre's appointment and is having a conversation about divorce with Waymond in the car. After another attempt while still being chased by evil Deirdre, she finally finds herself in a universe where she did not stay with Waymond, almost got robbed, and met a kung fu master who took her as an apprentice. As a result, she mastered kung fu and is now famously known as an action movie actress. Using her kung fu skills, she defeats Deirdre and retreats with Waymond to a meeting room. There, she keeps seeing flashes of her life as a famous actress, so Alpha Waymond tells her that verse jumping causes cracks in her mind. She needs to reseal those cracks to not confuse herself with other versions of her. He also explains that Jobu Tupaki is their daughter from another universe, whose mind is fractured due to overloading herself with verse jumps. Instead of dying like most people who cannot withstand the overwhelming verse jump effect, Her mind now experiences all of the universes and possibilities at the same time, and she is hunting every Evelyn. Evelyn drifts back to the Kung Fu universe, where she meets Waymond, who is a wealthy businessman. Back in her universe, she and Waymond are detained by the police, but Jobu Tupaki, possessing Joy, appears and defeats the police using her reality manipulation skills. Evelyn tries to use her Kung Fu skills against Jobu, but she drifts to a universe where every human has floppy hot dogs on their hands instead of fingers, and Evelyn is in a relationship with Deirdre. Jobu presents Evelyn with the black hole she has been building, which is shaped like a bagel. It consumes everything that represents Jobu's belief that nothing matters because the multiverses are always in never-ending chaos. She is then hit by Gong Gong, whose consciousness is temporarily hijacked by his Alphaverse counterpart. Waymond realizes that this Evelyn is so bad at everything that if she verse jumps, she can acquire any skills mastered by a more successful version of herself in other universes. The multiversal travelers then seem to disappear, leaving this universe's Waymond and Joy extremely confused about what is going on. To prevent Jobu from hurting her, Evelyn duct tapes her to a chair. She then tries to explain the verse jumping to them, that their physical bodies are controlled like puppets, like in the Ratatouille movie, but she mistakenly says Rakakuni. Alpha Gong Gong wants to kill this universe's Joy, giving Jobu one less universe to access. Evelyn refuses, attacking him instead so she can escape with her family. Furious, Alpha Gong Gong instructs other people in the Alphaverse to verse jump to that universe and hunt Evelyn down. Evelyn realizes her ability to withstand many verse jumps can make her become just like Jobu Tupaki, but it will make her strong enough to defeat Jobu. So she continues verse jumping to access useful skills to battle the Alphaverse minions, such as acquiring improved lung capacity from Singer Evelyn, deflecting weapons from Pizza Guy Evelyn, and mastering hand-to-hand combats and weapons from Chef Evelyn. Meanwhile, in the Alphaverse, Alpha Waymond is killed after Jobu Tupaki finds him. Evelyn is deeply saddened after Alpha Waymond's consciousness truly disappears, leaving her with her universe's Waymond. She then drifts off to the Kung Fu universe, where she is sitting through the premiere of her film. Jumping to other universes, she realizes that in the chef universe her co-worker, Chad, truly has a raccoon beneath his chef hat, the Rakakuni, just like Ratatouille. She jumps verse again, this time arriving in a universe where there was no fight in the IRS office and Gong Gong's party is about to get started. Waymond instructs her to drop the paperwork and cookies off to Deirdre. She goes out to meet Joy but realizes Jobu has taken over her again. They fight but manage to act normal when Waymond appears. Waymond reminds her to take care of the IRS paperwork, then leaves. Jobu takes Evelyn to the bagel and seemingly wants to throw her into it. Evelyn begs Jobu to leave her alone with Joy, but she refuses as she and Joy are the same person. Moreover, she wants to destroy herself by jumping into the bagel and is seeking a version of Evelyn who can understand her to join her as well. As their minds were fractured, they experience every version of themselves simultaneously, never being fully present in a particular moment. Evelyn is tempted to join Jobu, doing devastating things in parallel universes such as stabbing Waymond and revealing the raccoon beneath Chad's chef hat. Back at Gong Gong's party, as Evelyn never delivered the paperwork to IRS, Deirdre comes to the laundromat and authorizes police to seize the business. Waymond begs her to give them another chance next week to resolve the matter, then somehow Deirdre is convinced and releases Evelyn. Meanwhile, Evelyn reminisces the good memories she had been through with Waymond, with a version of Waymond telling her that she needs to be kind. She snaps back to reality and begins to have hope again, refusing Jobu to go into the bagel and trying to prevent her daughter from doing so. However, Jobu's minions try to stop her. Evelyn manipulates reality to overcome their attacks, such as transforming bullets into harmless Google eyes. Remembering Waymond's message to be kind, she accesses the memories of Jobu's minions and gives them something that brings them happiness, such as their favorite scent of perfume or giving a back massage. In the chef universe, she reconciles with Chad by helping him to get back his raccoon. In the party universe, she finally introduces Becky to Gong Gong as Joy's girlfriend. However, Joy is still disappointed in her mother and then leaves. Evelyn chases her to the parking lot, telling her that even though they may disagree in many situations, they still look for each other in the end. She also prefers to be with Joy despite everywhere else she could be. In another universe, Evelyn tightly holds on to Jobu, who almost enters the bagel, finally helped by Gong Gong, Waymond, and others. They both then embrace each other and reconcile. Sometime later, things seem to have improved for Evelyn and her family. Becky drives them to the IRS office for their auditor appointment. Evelyn and Waymond share a brief kiss before they enter the elevator. Deirdre now seems happy with their tax reports, but Evelyn's mind drifts off to other universes. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.